Okay, so it is Monday evening and it's time to come up with dinner. Mondays are like our only days during the week. We don't have anything in the evening or after school. No sports. So this is the one day a week I don't have to make dinner at 11 o'clock in the morning so that it's not a hectic evening. So my husband smoked meatloaf over the weekend, and I've made this on the channel before, but essentially you saute peppers and onions in a pan so they get nice and soft. Then you let them cool a minute, add your eggs, the peppers and onions mixture, some spices like garlic, salt, Italian seasoning, stuff like that, into the meatloaf. And in this case, we used ground beef. And then make it into like the meatloaf shape, and then put it on you add some barbecue sauce in there too. But then you put it on the smoker for a couple hours, and the smoked meatloaf is delicious. Now, being that we used beef instead of like a ground turkey version of a meatloaf, you want to play like this delicate balance between carbs and fats, because that's going to be your fuel sources. So when I'm designing my meals, one of the things that I do is basically, if I'm using like a ground beef, it's higher in fat naturally than like a ground chicken or a ground turkey. So when I make my sides, that comes into play. So tonight I'm gonna roast some vegetables with some some avocado oil. But I wanted to originally make meatloaf croutons, which is basically I use the leftover meatloaf. I dice it up into like 1-inch cubes. Then I pan fry it in butter to get like a little bit of a crust on the meatloaf. And then I'll just serve it up with my regular sides. But in the delicate balance of carbs and fats, meatloaf croutons is not the best choice when I'm logging my fats and carbs for the day, because it's a little higher. I'm more of a moderate fat approach right now, so I don't have a ton of room or wiggle room when it comes to fat, so I'm actually paying attention to it as I'm logging or keeping my food diary. So that means I'm just going to do reheated meatloaf instead. So although meatloaf croutons was the original plan, it's too high in fat to fit my macros. So just a little tweak like that is fine, and you can still make an easy dinner recipe. So I will pull out the meatloaf in a second, and we're going to slice it up and just reheat it. But the side tonight is just going to be roasted broccoli and cauliflower. So I'm going to measure out some avocado oil, throw some salt and pepper, and be done with it. Throw it in the microwave, and dinner is so easy for tonight. However, in the future, the next time I make the meatloaf, I'm going to use ground turkey so that I can pan fry it, or plan my day better so that I would have room in my macros to add the extra fat and saute the meatloaf croutons that I actually wanted to have tonight. So I hope that makes sense, but that's another reason why I'm kind of planning ahead of time. Today I didn't do that, so it's why I thought, hey, this is a good topic to talk about, where tomorrow I have a clean slate and I can start fresh and plan my meals accordingly if I want something in particular, how to make that delicate balance so that the carbs and fats even out. So anyways, I will show you the next step. Throw some avocado oil on these veggies and get it in the oven. Okay, so I'm just taking my broccoli here, and also when you're watching your fat, it's real easy to go overboard and drizzle too much on here, so I always measure. And just as a rule of thumb, what's worked for me is 2 tablespoons per person. That usually fits nicely in my macros. My kids have no clue, but it just makes, I'm making 4 servings here, so I'm gonna need 4, because this is a 2 tablespoons measuring spoon. And this way, 2 tablespoons roughly per person, and I'm not gonna overdo the oils and fats and stuff tonight. So, and I stay on track. And I have a helper that came in from riding her bike, and she likes helping Mama cook. So she is just mixing with her hands, because it's the easiest way to get the oil all mixed in with the salt and the pepper. And once it's all done, we're gonna pop it in the oven. Good job, sweetie. Good job, Mina.
It's all oily.
Yeah. Good job. All mixed?
I think.
All right, well, we will pop this in the oven. Good job, girl. Hey, do you like broccoli?
Love it.
All right, go wash your hands, Silly. Okay, and here is my dinner tonight. 6 ounces of meatloaf that I have to reheat still. I'm gonna do Sweet Baby Ray's, the sugar-free Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and then my roasted veggies. So that is dinner tonight. Okay, so it is a new day, and I'm already feeling the stress of the evening. As soon as my kids get out of school, it goes from like 0 to 100. So I'm already feeling that now. I need to think about what I'm gonna have for dinner. I had an idea, but I have to like nail it down and make sure that I can make that before all of the chaos of the evening starts. So when I get in that kind of like stressed out or anxious, anxiety type mode, I never skip a workout. So thank you to Element for sponsoring this video. Element electrolytes are my absolute favorite because they taste delicious. There's no artificial flavors, no gluten, they're sugar-free. They're great for people like us on a keto, low carb, or active lifestyle. And each packet of Element electrolytes contains a science-backed ratio of electrolytes. You're getting 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. My personal favorite flavor is the watermelon, with the second being raspberry and the third favorite being citrus salt. But don't take my word for it. You can get a free sample pack of 8 unique flavors. This way you can try all the flavors and find your favorites. So if you would like to try Element electrolytes, you can use my special link down below as many times as you want, but this promo is only available for you guys. So you have to use my special link. That is drinkelement.com/keto rewind. That's drinklmnt.com/keto rewind and get yourself a free sample pack. Now it's time for me to go de-stress, move my body, and get that workout done. See you at probably dinner time. Okay, so tonight's dinner is going to be a chicken teriyaki over riced cauliflower and steamed broccoli. This is a really easy, just cook it up on the stovetop type dinner. Steam the cauliflower rice, and it's a real easy, low-carb dinner recipe when you need to make dinner in a pinch. Now, today's one of those days where I had a lot of errands I had to run this morning. I had to get the gym workout in. I didn't get a chance to make dinner while I had time earlier. So now, my kids are at art camp for like the next hour. I have to hurry up and make dinner, go get them, feed them, get them dressed for softball, and head to the softball fields, and we'll be there for the 2-3 hours. So gonna make sure I feed them a nice nutritious dinner so they have tons of energy to do well in their games. And in addition to keeping mom on track. So anyways, here's how I made this low carb chicken teriyaki and broccoli dinner recipe. Okay, for the low carb, not keto, teriyaki sauce, I'm gonna use liquid aminos. You can also use like a tamari gluten-free sauce. I'm using for the sweetener, brown sugar by Swerve, rice wine vinegar. If you don't have rice wine vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar, sesame oil, and garlic powder. So I'm just gonna mix this all up. And I am making this for 2 pounds of chicken, so I'm doubling the recipe. I will put the recipe link that I'm using down below. So I need 6 tablespoons of Swerve. Remember, this is a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon. Makes it easy. So I'm just gonna do this 3 times. So I also need a rice wine vinegar. And next up, we need 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. This is one of my favorite oils. It's a big punch of flavor. Remember, I'm doubling my recipe here. Looks like I just have enough. Close enough. And garlic powder. What's teriyaki chicken without garlic powder? All right, so I'm just gonna take a whisk and mix this up and set it aside while I dice up my chicken into about 1 size inch like cubes. And I'll be back. Okay, so there is roughly 2 pounds of just diced chicken breast. So at this point, I'm gonna cook these juices through, and then I'm gonna add in the teriyaki sauce. Okay, so next up, I have frozen broccoli. I'm just steaming this into the microwave. It's real easy to do that way. Same goes for the riced cauliflower. So I'm gonna measure that up for what we need, and I'll be back when it's time to add the marinade to the chicken. Okay, so at this point, the chicken has been cooked through. and just about all the liquid in the pan has evaporated. So it's cooked in all its juices. And at this point, I'm going to add in the sauce. And give it a quick stir. And then I'm just gonna let this simmer. And then I'm gonna add in the broccoli in like the last second before serving. And that is how easy this dish is. Okay, so the chicken is pretty much ready to go. And now I'm gonna add in my frozen broccoli that I steamed in the bag. Throw that in there, and then here's my steamed cauliflower. So, and my kids have this with just regular rice. Not that they don't like cauliflower, rice cauliflower, but tonight they wanted rice. And that is how easy this is. I don't know if I need that second bag now that I have it in here. Then I'm just gonna put the lid on it as soon as this all gets nice and incorporated, and we'll be back for the finished product. All right, we're gonna start with a cup of cauliflower rice. And that is the finished product. Yum, yum, yum.
Hard hitter, you ready?
Back up. Oh, good enough. Not good enough.
Okay, so it's dinner time again, and I thought I would try this new gadget that I got for my birthday. It's called the Meatball Master. I got it from my mother-in-law. Thank you to Charlotte. This basically is a mold to make meatballs. You put the meatballs all in the like little wells, then you smooth it down, and then the top like cuts it, and then you just put it in a pan. So we'll see if this is any easier than using the old-fashioned scoop, like the ice cream scoop. Let's see if it's a time saver, but I like it for portioning out your meatballs and getting the right macros and stuff. So let me flip the camera around and we'll give this a test. Okay, so this is the standard recipe I always use for my meatballs. For this particular recipe, I'm using ground turkey, just so they're a little bit of a lighter option. And then I put the cheese. But anyways, the recipe's on my site. I'll link it down below. It's the same one I do all the time. So Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. And if you wanted them to have a little bit more texture, you could use like a regular onion. But in my case, onion powder's keeping this texture of the meatball nice and smooth and kid-friendly. And then last but not least, Italian seasoning. Okay, so let me crack these eggs in here. And when it's time to spread everything into the pan, I'll be right back. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna just take, we're gonna give this a test. We're gonna put the meatball batter right in here. This is 2 pounds, so we'll see if this is about how much it will hold. Looks like we might have a little extra, but I think you just gotta work it in there so that each one of these is nice and full.
Can I do it?
When we get to that point, yeah. We might have just the perfect amount. And the cool thing is when this is all done, you just pop it in the dishwasher. Yeah, looks like 2 pounds holds this perfectly.
Some are falling. It's kind of falling off.
It's okay. We'll just put those in the ones over here. I see this one needs some extra.
Now can I put this on?
Hold on.
I don't have patience. What way does it go? This way?
Yep, I think so. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna put the lid on.
And try not to touchy touch.
And see if a kid can do it. Push down. And then
I'm just gonna
push, push, push. And then make sure it's down there good. Mama, give it a squish. And then you're gonna take it off again. See if it worked. It worked!
It worked!
Okay, so now I just take these out of there and put them on a baking sheet. So I'm gonna wash my hands, I'll be right back. You don't need to show them.
Yum, yum, yum.
And don't let it fall into the meat.
Okay. Dunk. Now I'm gonna go eat this.
You just pull them on out of there. Put them on your pan. That's awesome. I love it. Yep, I like this. Perfectly portioned. All right, I'll be back when we're all done. Okay, and there you have it. That probably at most took me 5 minutes, and I have 32 perfectly portioned turkey meatballs. So now I'm gonna bake them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes and give them a check. And here they are after they've come out of the oven, and it took about 15 minutes on my convection setting. So I will be back with the next step. Okay, so I have a regular sized jar of Rayo's in here. And all I'm gonna do as soon as this comes to temperature, I'm just gonna add in probably half of the meatballs into the pan and just let that come together. And then I'm also going to have on the side some garlic green beans. So I'm just gonna steam these into the microwave, then add a little butter, salt, pepper, garlic, and some Parmesan cheese. So I'll be back at the finished product. And dinner is served. We have turkey meatballs with some sauce and some garlic green beans. Thanks, Element, for sponsoring this video.